Hey, I think we'll get started so we don't waste a minute. So grateful that you're all here today. Kim is going to be monitoring our chat box, so feel free to raise your hand, unmute, ask a question, or if you want to put it in the chat box, either way. Hopefully, it seems like most everyone has been able to get onto the app. So have just loved seeing so many of you post your intentions, share with us what you are going to learn from this class.
Can I just,
Yes.
there's a few who aren't getting like the classes or
Well, that's
all
right,
of the
showing up on their
content
app.
showing up, yeah, on the app in your program. So if that ever happens, if you're having trouble finding something, please feel free to message us because we can override that and kind of send it to you individually. But also, um, in your app, there is, and I don't know if you can see this, but there is a little, I don't know if you can see this, but at the top up here, it says tags. And if you click on tags, it'll take you to, it's just the way that we can organize the app so that you can find things easier. It will say class videos, meditations, and then we're also organizing them into weeks. So we'll have like the slides and the meditations and the video all in week one tag. So I just wanted to let you know that's another way that you can find any of the content that you're looking for on the app. But once again, if it's ever like, I can't find something or where's the video, please let us know. We're working with our tech team to figure out why only a few of you aren't getting the full, um, some of the stuff. So anyway, please let us know if anything's not showing up for you.
Yeah, thank you for that, Kim. And again, and so many of you have reached out if you have questions, but never hesitate because we want you to get every last drop from this class that you can. So thank you so much, Kim.
Yeah, of
So I
course.
just took it off screen share because I want to see all of your beautiful faces and just give you a minute to introduce yourselves, if you will. If you want to just give us tell us your name, you can tell us where you live, and just something interesting about yourself. I mean, you could tell us if you have children or not or whatever, but maybe something just about you. Um, no pressure. It could be something funny, something random, whatever just comes out. But we just love seeing your faces and feeling of your spirits and really just so grateful you're here. And before I do that, can we turn off the sound for every time someone comes in to the class? Ding dong. I mean, I love seeing the new person, but I feel like that wasn't on last time.
So you have to
Maybe
mute
I
it
have to
when you
do it.
create the.
No, you can do it. You can go to participants
Ooh, thank you, Sabra. Okay,
Oh,
participant.
awesome.
menu and you can say play, join, and leave sound, and you can toggle that off.
Thank you so much. So much. Hey, well, do you want to start introducing yourself to us all, Sabra? I love your name, by the way.
Yes. My name is Sabra. It's not phonetic. Um, I live in Florida. I've been here for 6 months. I grew up in California. Total polar opposite side of the country, but really wonderful and beautiful here. Um, I teach math. I have 4 children. Today is my birthday. And
Happy birthday!
and what a great way to spend an hour of it, right, in this course. And I don't know if there's anything else particularly interesting. That's a little bit about me.
It's amazing. Math teacher, my hat's off to you. I wish that were something that I was good at. Thank you, Sabra. Kim, do you want to go next?
Me?
Yes.
Okay, yes. Hi, I'm Kim Roberts. I am from San Diego. And let's see, I've been married 32 years. I have 4 kids, ages 17 to 25. So I'm kind of on a other end of things. And I was an interior designer in my old life, but I'm actually a certified life coach now. And I I certified at the life coach school, but I also certified with Brick Snow, which was so wonderful because it supported that integrative approach that I love. And also certified with Jody Moore. So I love helping women, and particularly my niche is with autoimmune because that's where I'm coming from. So helping women feel better and stronger mentally and emotionally, even while living with chronic illness. So I love that. And meditation has been a huge part of my journey. So I love learning with the both of you. It's been so great already, just with our one lesson last week. So just excited to be here.
Yay. Thank you so much, Kim. So glad to have you. Hope you'll share because I know you have many insights that could benefit us all. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Liz, do you want to go next?
Oh, I'm not even muted, so I'm now I know that I can mute when I'm I'm Liz Hall. I don't know. I'm grateful to be here. It's kind of new on this path of mindfulness and meditation. Met Jessica in Mexico on a service trip, and super grateful for the opportunity to learn about this. So
Yay. Liz is amazing. Thank you, Liz. Terry?
Hello, everyone. I'm Terry Archibald. I live in Smithfield, Utah, over by Logan. And let's see, I have 4 children. My oldest is married, and I have a son on a mission, and then I have a junior in high school, and then I have a caboose baby in 4th grade. So we're kind of spread out, enjoying all the different phases, but it's great. I just got into meditation a year ago, and I was introduced to the Small Seed app, and it really changed my life, and I really appreciate it. And then I just graduated from the Creation Coach School with Brooke Snow last year. So that was a really good and transformative experience for me. So I'm a little bit older, and I've gone through a lot of transformation, and I feel like my life has built me up to this point. So been through a lot and ready to go through more, but I'm ready to tackle it healthier. So life is good. So I'm super happy to be here. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much, Terry. Susan, how about you? We go next.
Certainly. I don't even know really what to say, but I have 4 kids. They're all older. The oldest 2 are married, and the youngest 2 are still learning to figure out life. They range in age from 23 to 32. I live in Meridian, Idaho, and I love learning, I guess. I kind of joke that, well, my degree from college was in education, and I taught school for several years, but I always love learning new things. And I kind of joke that my second degree is just in figure it out. And so I'm always interested in learning new things, and I'm excited to learn things in this arena so that I can implement them in my life.
Thank you so much. Elise.
Hello, my name is Elise Curtis. I'm from Bountiful, Utah. I am the founder of Salt Gathering, which is a group that helps women draw closer to Christ, and we do events and have products and stuff. I'm currently going through the certification program for Brooke Snow's Creation Coaching, which I'm super excited about. And I have been meditating for I don't know, it's been in my life for probably about 4 years. And just every time I do it, it's just like the greatest thing ever. So I'm so excited to be here and to continue to learn.
Yay. So glad you're here. Thank you. Anna, I'm just going in order on my screen. So
Sorry, I've got to unmute. I'm Anna Staferi. I have 5 kids from 14 down to 5. And we just moved to Alpine, Utah. Previous to that, we were in Arizona. So it's quite the change. And then San Diego before that. So it's been quite the change. We're laughing because it's the longest winter and most snow they've had in like 40 years.
welcome.
Good thing we like to ski. So, and I was really motivated to take this class because I have a son who has pretty severe anxiety. He was diagnosed in 4th grade, and just wanted to be able to help him. And it's kind of neat to see how the Lord guides you in your life, because back in college, I had a lot of different ideas of what I wanted to do. And I was kind of guided into like marriage and family therapy as my undergrad work. And really just because I thought, oh, it's most applicable, and some of my other choices kind of had to fall out because of just life. And so that it's been neat as I've been through this with my son, how much I've had to learn along those same lines, and just try to, in order to help him, get as many tools in my own belt so that I can then help him gain tools that can help him so that he can have a great life and not have it affect him.
Thank you, Anna. He is blessed to have you. Jenna, do you go next?
You say Jenna?
Yeah.
Okay, hi. I'm Jenna Bauer. I live in Centerville, Utah, and I have 4 kids, ages 11 to 4. This is Charlotte. You'll probably see her with me.
Hi, Charlotte.
Time. She's my little sidekick. We do everything together. She has a condition called infantile neuroaxonal dystrophy. The short name is INAD. So we've experienced a lot of changes the past 3 years with her, but we're so grateful to have her. She's our sweetheart. Sorry. Anyways. Sorry. We just hope we get to have a while longer with her. Anyways, I am a little bit new to meditation. I love the Small Seed app and was really drawn to Jessica and Kim's meditations. And so when I saw that they were doing a class, I was like, yeah, for sure. I want to do that. So grateful for what I'm learning and for the stillness I'm able to feel and the peace, and yeah, just grateful to be here.
Thank you so much, Jenna. And Charlotte, we're so glad to have her too.
Thank you.
Heidi, would you go next?
Hello. You probably saw my video just turned on. Part of my opposition was it took me 8 minutes to figure out how to turn my video on today.
You made it. Okay.
I was working through staying calm. So I'm Heidi. I am from Boise. My husband works in Meridian, Susan. I am so thrilled to be here. So I, like many of you, have worked on meditation. I started about 5 years ago with a non-Christ-centered app, and it worked, but not great. And I had a good friend tell me about the Small Seed app and convinced me with a buddy pass to get on. And that's when my journey really started changing. Those meditations really touched my soul. And I was like a lot of you, where Kim and Jessica, you guys were some of my very favorite meditations to listen to. They're lined up in my favorites tab. And I have a son who I was struggling to help with some of his challenges and not knowing where to go. And the day I was asking for help, I received an email from Kim saying, I'm doing a teen seminar, and I was able to sign him up, and it's just blossomed from there. And so seeing how much progress he made with that made me really excited when I heard about this one, that I could also join in. So I'm just thrilled. I feel like I'm getting my mind blown with every little kernel you guys release. I'm like, oh, of course. So thank you. I'm just thrilled to be here. And if Kim can attest, our house is a house of chaos and noise. We're pretty active, boisterous people. So it's wonderful to learn how to take that enthusiasm, but also choose the level of passion that we use in our responses. So I'm just thrilled to be here.
Thank you so much, Heidi. Kristen.
Okay, so I wasn't here at the beginning, so how are we introducing ourselves?
Just a brief introduction. Just tell us your name and maybe one short little thing about yourself so we can all just get to know each other a little bit.
Okay.
Kristen's my cousin, so I have a special connection right here, but.
I didn't want to say anything. I was wondering if you were going to bring it up. So anyway, okay, so I'm Kristen. I'm originally from Utah, but we've been living in Illinois for a long time. I followed the small seeds from the beginning. And so I knew all about the app and the meditations and things like that. And I don't do it as regularly as I probably ought to, but I've noticed when I do the meditations and when I like really make an effort, that it makes a big difference. And so I am grateful that I'm able to be here. I know it's going to make a big difference, and knowing Jessica as long as I have, and I'm sure Kim's the same way, I'm really excited to hear what they have to say and things like that. So
thank you, Kristen. Okay, we don't have your name. Next one, it says Zoom user. Tell me, in the black sweatshirt.
Okay.
Tell us your name. Sorry, it's not showing up on your screen.
That's okay. I tried to get on my computer and it wouldn't let me. So this is my phone, and I don't know if it has a title, but I don't even know how to title it. So
that's okay.
It's titled on my computer, but it wouldn't work. So my name's Allison Corey, and I'm from Orem, Utah. And I took the class the last time, but I didn't really take it because I just had a lot going on in my life. And so I jumped in and out and didn't really do that. But I have, as all of us, a lot to process and a lot of stress. And so my sister is really into meditation and says that it saved her life. So I am trying this and I'm not practiced at all, zero, just here and there I do a little meditation, but really I don't know what I'm doing whatsoever. So I'm trying to do this and find peace, greater peace and direction from the spirit, and just that's what I'm doing. So
thank you. So glad, Allison. So glad you're here.
Thank you.
I know this is taking a little bit of time, but I just love having a minute to hear from each of you. So we have a few more if you want to just keep it maybe a little bit short. Courtney, can we hear from you next?
Sorry, I'm just like going through my workbook. I'm Courtney Casper. I live in Eastern Washington. And I was just writing down my intentions, so I'll just share that. I want to strengthen my inner world and let the outer world fall into place as it will, is what I wrote down. So that's my hope for this workshop. And I love being among other women who are showing up in their lives and trying and trusting and learning. So happy to be here.
Thank you, Courtney. Mandy. Is it not unmuting? Christy, how about will you go, and Mandy, while you get yours unmuted, we'll have you go next.
Yeah, hi. I'm Christy Fetzer, and I took the class previously and just wanted to dive deeper in it because it was just chaos moving down to Cedar City, Utah. So I have, we moved because my husband was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, and that was a shocker. So we're dealing with that and moved down here to be closer to family. And I have 3 boys, 11, 6, and a 2-year-old. So I'm just loving meditation, and I'm a beginner at it. And I just feel a deeper connection to God, and I want to keep that going. So.
Thank you so much, Christy. Mandy, what do you think? Oh, not unmuting. Okay, keep trying. Elaine, how about will you go?
I've lost my voice, so I'd rather defer to another time.
That sounds great.
Down with laryngitis and
sorry.
Oh, so let me reserve it for another time.
Sounds great. Glad you're here, Elaine. That's okay. Thank you. I'm going to go through the others, Mandy, and reserve you for last the best, okay? Rachel, will you go next?
Hi, everybody. Sorry, I'm multitasking right now because I'm moving to Indiana on Friday. But my name's Rachel Jensen. I'm born and raised in Provo. I'm 22 years old. I'm a college student at UVU. I'm studying public relations and entrepreneurship. And then I'm also getting my real estate license. And I'm moving to Indiana to do summer sales for 6 months. So that's kind of my game plan right now. And I really enjoy meditation. This class was an answer to a lot of unsaid prayers that I mentioned that to Jessica a couple of days ago. So God really worked a miracle in my life when we came across this class, my dad and I, and I'm just super stoked to be here and grow in meditation and awareness and breath and all those great things.
Thank you, Rachel. Tracy. You want?
Can you see me okay?
Can't see. Is that Tracy talking?
Oh, Tracy, okay.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know you said me. Hey.
Oh, Tracy.
Sorry, I had a rundown from working, so I'm here now. I'm Tracy, and I get the privilege of working with these 2 beautiful ladies, and I begged them to let me be part of the class because I just really believe in what they do. So I'm excited to be here and be a part of it.
Thank you, Tracy. Ashley. You're on mute, Ashley, I think.
Here we go.
Here
Hi,
go.
I'm Ashley Harmon, and I live in Spanish Fork, Utah. I just had our 4th child, baby boy, and this is my 2nd time taking the course, and I'm so excited. It truly, like, I was reflecting, it really taught me so much and helped me so much, and I feel like I need to implement those things again, and I'm excited. In my past life, I have my paralegal degree and worked mostly in family law. Also did some other things, but that's a little bit about me. Love to travel, love adventures, and yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Ashley. Christy.
Hi. I kind of missed the beginning. Sorry, Zoom was trying to make me authenticize myself somehow or something,
Hey,
and it
just
took me a while to get on.
Super quick intro we would love.
Oh, okay. Christy Bullock, have lived in Las Vegas, Nevada for 38 years, have 2 daughters. They're both in Utah, 2 grandchildren, and we're having fun. I was asked to serve in a position where I was in charge of an annual event at an organization at BYU, and that's kind of associated with Women's Conference. And we were trying to come up with some ideas of a theme. And I just kept feeling something inside because it was right after COVID and we had to put it off for a couple of years. And now we get to meet in person. And basically, long story short, I just felt really prompted that we needed to be more mindful and talk about mindfulness and learn how to meditate. So we are incorporating that. And my friend, Eileen Davis, told me about this course. And my sister-in-law, Becca Wagner, is actually going to come and do our mindfulness meditation for us. And she, on her own, found this. I hadn't even gotten to tell her about it, and she found it. And she's not with us yet, I don't think, but she's involved with it too. So it's just how miracles happen. And this has been a great lesson for me because this is necessary in my life to learn how to meditate and be more mindful.
So beautiful. Thank you, Christy. Melissa and then Mandy. I think you're on mute, Melissa.
Okay, so hello, my name's Melissa Johnson. And for everybody that can't figure out the Zoom thing, I just had to update my app. So if that helps.
Thank you.
Pretty simple. I grew up in St. George with Jessica. I met her in 6th grade. She was such a blessing in my life ever since that time. And I live in Wyoming now with my 3 boys and my husband. We ranch out here. So that's it.
Amazing. So glad you're here, Melissa.
Thanks.
And Mandy, it looks like it worked.
I finally figured it out. Sorry, I haven't used Zoom a whole lot. And I had to switch from my computer to my phone. Anyway, and we're out of town right now too. So I don't know, we're with cousins, so any noise could come in. I'm Mandy Williams. I actually live in Kim Stake. I live in Lund, Idaho, which is really close to Lava Hot Springs area. And we have 6 kids ranging from 16 down to 4. And I've just been in Idaho pretty much my whole life. And I don't know, life is so busy. And, I've always kind of struggled a little bit with anxiety, but I've learned a lot of tools to help me. But just with the busyness of life, and then I have a pretty demanding calling right now in young women's, and I've just had some conflicts I've had to learn to resolve, and I have a really hard time disconnecting myself from things. And so I just knew I needed to do this. And I'm also, one thing I love, which I kind of jokingly call it my meditation, is I love art and photography and working on projects, usually, at midnight when I'm not chasing kids. So anyway, I'm Mandy.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mandy. I know that took a little bit of time, and you can go ahead and I'll mute yourself again. That would be great. That would help with our sound. There's just something about gathering women that if I have learned anything in my time trying to become a better disciple of Jesus Christ, there is so much strength in gathering together with women. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Again, if you could all mute yourself, that will help with our sound. And just excited to start with a meditation from Kim. So I will turn it to you.
I wanted to start today just by, if you feel comfortable or if you're available to close your eyes, feel free, and go ahead and just kind of relax your shoulders and take a minute to just notice where your breath is right now. And wherever you're at, sorry, wherever you're at, try to notice the breath coming in through the nose and moving all the way down. As you inhale and exhale, Try to lengthen if you can. Just make it a little bit longer. Create a little bit more space for the air to flow deeper into your belly. And as you exhale, releasing the tension, any tension that you feel in your body. Oftentimes before I need to focus on something or like a class like this, I'll use my breath to actually create space in my mind. So as you inhale, just imagine the air creating more space in your mind, expanding your mind. And as you exhale, allowing the body to relax. We'll try that just a few more times. Inhaling, allowing the mind to open and expand, to be available for new ideas and for inspiration. And exhale as you allow the body to relax and release. Inhaling, imagining the mind expanding, making way and space for new ideas and inspiration. And as we exhale, letting go of anything that is not serving us today, feeling refreshed and renewed and ready to learn. Go ahead and blink your eyes open and come back to the space. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kim. Today, I am excited to talk about breath. We go to the very beginning. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. And man became a living soul. Just wanted to lay that foundation of the very first gift that we receive as we come into this world is breath. Now, I think it can be obvious sometimes, like, why is breath so important? We can't breathe if we don't, or we can't live if we don't breathe, of course. But today I want you to consider taking it a little bit deeper, maybe giving a little bit more weight to actually why breath is so important. Dr. Andrew Huberman said, by changing the way you are breathing, you're able to change the way you are thinking. James Nestor, who has written it's become very popular book about breath, and he is a journalist who spent a lot of time doing a ton of research on breath. And he said there are no negative side effects from learning how to breathe better, but there are a lot of negative things that can happen when you are breathing dysfunctionally. So breathing dysfunctionally, like, how do we know if we're breathing dysfunctionally? Maybe what does that even mean? Just a couple of interesting tidbits. We need the correct balance between oxygen and carbon dioxide. I grew up believing that, like, oxygen is good, carbon dioxide is bad, but actually you need both. Without going into all of the details, you can research this more if you want. Carbon dioxide actually allows our body to use the oxygen. It's almost like it unlocks it. So when someone has a panic attack, for example, you're breathing too much oxygen and your carbon dioxide levels become unbalanced and your brain becomes starved of oxygen because you haven't been able to absorb it. So if you go to the ER, or if you've ever been with someone to the ER who has had a panic attack, they have them breathe through a paper bag because they're breathing out the carbon dioxide, then they're breathing back in the carbon dioxide to try to get their levels balanced. So they're both important. So the way you're bringing it in and bringing it out is really important. Another interesting fact from the Journal of Physiology, the brain, by regulating breathing, controls its own excitability. So how you breathe influences your brain state. So if you've been with someone who really struggles with anxiety, or like we just talked about, a panic attack, it's really hard for them to make decisions. The cognitive clarity isn't there because their breathing is usually out of control. So there's certain neurons that are able to fire or almost become paralyzed by the way that we're breathing. There's actually a study that showed, that was done fairly recently. Dr. Huberman was one of the ones that did this study. Regular breath practices are actually more effective at relieving stress and improving sleep than regular meditation practice. Now, you all know I love meditation. In this workshop, we're giving you different tools that will work at different times and for different purposes. So they found in this study where they used meditation and different breathing practices that we'll go into later in this class. Deliberate breath practices done 5 minutes a day led to greater reduction in stress and better sleep than a daily 5-minute meditation. So there's something about breath. Now, a quick explanation of nasal breathing versus mouth breathing. Now, I just want to first add a little caveat. If nasal breathing isn't accessible for you, please don't get down. There are certain, things that happen physiologically or certain habits that we've developed that maybe make nasal breathing harder for some of us. But I just want you to consider exploring how you are breathing. And maybe we don't realize we're doing mouth breathing a lot. People who have trouble sleeping and trouble snoring most often are breathing through their mouth as they sleep. But just look at the benefits of nasal breathing, breathing in and out through our nose. It's quality over quantity. So when we breathe through our nose, there's a resistance that it's actually a little bit harder to breathe in through our nose. You'll notice as you're exercising, we usually breathe through our mouth because it's a little bit easier. But nasal breathing pushes that air farther down into our diaphragm, which inflates our lungs more. It delivers more oxygen to our system. Kind of interesting, our nose actually warms and moisturizes the air, which is better for our lungs when it gets down there. The gas nitric oxide is created in the nasal passages. This was one of my favorite things. This gas can cause relaxation in the smooth muscles that relate to the vasculature of your nose, your brain, and all the tissues in your body. So nasal breathing actually helps deliver this nitric oxide, providing relaxation to our bodies. So again, don't get down if nasal breathing isn't accessible for you at this time, but something to consider. And today we'll talk about a couple ways that you actually can help learn and be more intentional about your breathing. Did you have something, Kim?
It's okay. I think you'll cover it. So
okay.
Keep going.
If not, you'll share, I'm sure. And just one little interesting thing that I thought that was shared, mouth breathing is like driving a car while pushing the brake, that it's that much better for you breathing through your nose. And I thought this experiment was fascinating. So James Nestor that I just mentioned, who wrote this book on breath, probably the most current, really big best-selling book on breath. He, with Anders Olsen, who has a website, I've put these sources at the end of this lesson that you can look up. He has some great resources on breath. They did this experiment similar to, maybe you've seen the documentary or heard of the Super Size Me experiment, where there was that gentleman that for 30 days just ate McDonald's food, and then did all of the blood work, did all of the different testing to see how that affected his body. They did a similar thing with mouth breathing versus nasal breathing. So they just breathed through their mouth for 10 days. Like they literally put stuff up their noses, like completely closed off their nasal passageways, only breathing through their mouth.
It's just, they're 8 minutes. You gotta pay attention.
Everyone, that would be great. And Kim, you can go in and there we go. So 10 days, they did different exercises. They monitored everything. They videotaped and tape recorded their sleeping. Everything was monitored. The way they described it was actually fascinating. Within 2 days, both of them were snoring almost the entire night, tossing, turning, horrible sleep. Several days into it, especially the last few days, they said they had horrible sugar cravings. Their exercise or energy levels were super low. Their moods were super negative. It would be a really interesting study if you wanted to look into it, but a ton of negatives, just how they were feeling overall. After 10 days, they swapped to only nasal breathing. They taped their mouths, did everything that they did those first 10 days. Again, eating the same food, certain exercises, everything with only nasal breathing. They said by day 2, it was like life-changing. By day 3, neither one of them were snoring at all anymore. Their mood increased. I mean, you can imagine it was like everything was the opposite, which I think is so fascinating and just interesting. As last week we started practicing an awareness, something to consider is, how am I breathing? Because there's so many benefits of quality breathing. 10 here, just to name a few: helps you have a stronger heart, boost your energy and move. Like we already talked about, relaxes the brain, increases fat burning. You can see all of these here leading to number 10, which I think has been most beneficial for me, is deeper connection with God. As you think about how you connect with God, how you hear him, I'd invite you to consider adding breath or becoming aware of how you're using your breath as you connect with him. So I wanted to invite you to try a few of these breath practices, starting with something called box breathing. This is a practice that they actually did in that first study that I talked about, where they said that intentional breathing is actually more helpful for relieving stress than meditation. So what box breathing basically is doing the same count of breath. For example, 3 counts inhale, then you hold for 3, then you exhale for 3, then you hold for 3. Now, depending on how well you are already breathing, you'll be able to do that for maybe 5, maybe 10 seconds around the, it's called box breathing because it's equal for the inhale, hold, exhale, hold. But I just wanted you to try just the 3 seconds today. If you want to close your eyes, or you can open your eyes, we're just going to do it for 1 minute. So we're going to inhale through our nose, if that's accessible for you. If not, your mouth is fine. There's still benefits from breathing through your mouth. So go ahead and inhale for 3, 2, 1. Hold it for 3, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3, and hold it, 2, 3. So I'm going to time a minute and invite you to try that. And if 3 is way too easy for you, you're welcome to count 4. You're welcome to count 5. But I'm just going to time for a minute here and let you try some box breathing. Go ahead and begin whenever you're ready. And go ahead and finish your last breath. You can come back to your normal, relaxed breathing. So that's box breathing. That is in that grouping of breathing practices that if you were to practice that for 5 minutes a day. You could even start with 1 minute a day. That can greatly improve your quality of breath, help relieving stress and improving sleep, all of those benefits that you saw. So box breathing is one type. The physiological sigh was actually the top of the list from this study that Dr. Huberman did, where it's you breathe in through your nose and you breathe in as deep as you can. And then when you get to the top, you do one last breath in and then exhale through your mouth. So it would look like this, breathing in through your nose, one last. Might sound kind of funny, but they actually were able to prove through this long study that one physiological sigh is the quickest way to move from your fight or flight into your parasympathetic nervous system, to get you into that rest and digest. So in those really stressful moments, it's been really interesting over the last week as I've been, kind of re-looking at this breathing and putting it together. I've had lots of opportunities to practice this. And it is really beautiful how just that can really change your state. I notice it in my mind. Sometimes I have to do 2 or 3, but when you do that repeatedly, it's called cyclic sighing. So that's another one that you can practice for a minute or for 5 minutes, just in the morning or in the evening, to receive some really beautiful benefits from breath. So go ahead and try that if you haven't tried it yet. Just breathing in through your nose, just as deep as you think you can, and then one last inhale, and then exhale through your mouth. Just give it a try if you want. That's called the physiological sigh. So another one that I love, that actually this is the gentleman that I mentioned earlier, Dr. Olson, down on the bottom with his mouth taped. And don't worry, we're not going to try the mouth taping today, but a lot of people have been very interested in this, and it's actually caught on. There's YouTube videos, how to do mouth taping. It's something that a lot of people have had reservations about, like, are you going to suffocate? Like, no, it's perfectly safe. My husband has actually been trying it because he snores more than he realizes in the evening. And since I've been into meditation, when he snores, usually I kind of wake him up like, honey, you're snoring, and he'll like turn over. But during a very stressful period about a year ago, he got really upset when I woke him up. And he wasn't upset at me. He was just upset that he was snoring. So when it wakes me up in the night, I've been using my meditation skills to just like, it's white noise. It actually helps me go back to sleep. And I've just been, anyway, able to adapt. But I mentioned it to him after I learned more about this mouth taping. You guys, I can attest already to the benefits. So something that he suggested, if you want to just become aware of how you're breathing, if you're using your mouth, you can put just a little piece of tape over the middle, like when you're driving or when you're cooking or when you're just doing something at home, not, that you don't really have to think very hard, just to notice something you may want to explore. But then finally, there's something called anchor breathing, where Kim mentioned something that's very similar in her opening meditation. But if you'd like to try it with me, go ahead and close your eyes. As you inhale through your nose, as you exhale, imagine that breath moving down, 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 almost like dropping an anchor. Again, on your inhale, just imagine that breath moving down, almost like it's connecting your mind, your heart, your gut, moving all the way down, feeling your connection with the earth. Just try a couple of deep breaths again with that anchor breathing, as Dr. Olson calls it, where again you inhale and exhale just with that image of moving down, down, down on your exhale. Thank you, everyone who gave that a try. That's another breathing technique that can be very beneficial in helping you become present, grounded, and really bring that calm into your life. So just a little practice there for you of different types of breathing or breath work. And there are many. It's a whole genre we could take a year talking about or more. I mean, there's a ton of great research and practice out there around breathing. Does anyone have any questions so far? Hopefully some good information helping you think. Moving to a little bit of practical application, and I hope I don't get too emotional here. So my husband and I went on a long trip just a few weeks ago. We were gone for a couple of weeks. We were visiting the Holy Land. It was amazing. But when I got home, my cute little 5-year-old here, Henry, all of a sudden had some real anxieties about going to school, about using the bathroom at school. I mean, not to give you too much information, but about wiping at school and just these little things that were really big on his little heart. And I don't know if it was that for 2 weeks with a babysitter, he had just had to hold it together, not had any outlet of, really expressing himself like you would to a mom or to your family. But it has been really real to him, and to where he's just in tears every night. I can't go to school. He wakes up, my stomach hurts. Mom, I'm sick. I can't. And I have had very strong impressions over the last couple of months that while I love working with clients, I love teaching classes. It's so life-giving for me, teaching meditation and mindfulness. But God has been very loud and clear about, you are learning these tools to teach your children. And as I've been working with him, take a deep breath in, let it out slowly. We've been practicing breathing. And something that is really beneficial for me is putting mantras or affirmations with my breath. And we'll talk about this more in weeks to come. But for him, just a simple deep breath in, I'm okay. Say it again, buddy. Deep breath in, I'm okay. And we'll practice this. And anyway, I was in his classroom just this week helping with, they have parents come in and volunteer, and I was helping, and it was time for me to leave. And he knew the time was coming for me to leave, and he came over. Mom, my stomach hurts. Mom, I want to go home. It just all kind of started. And I looked at him and I was like, buddy, deep breath in. And without me even saying anything, he closed his eyes and he goes, I'm okay. He did it a couple more times on his own. And even though he was still in tears, and even though he still wanted to leave, he kind of tearfully walked back to his desk as I walked out the door, and picking him up from school, happy little boy, jumped in the car. How was school today, bud? It was great. And I don't think it's over for him. We're still very much in the middle of it, but it was such a good reminder to me of how powerful just that simple, I'm okay. It's something that I have used, that I use daily. The one, I have a clock picture here reminding me of a mantra that has become a staple for my mental health. Found myself getting very stressed out, driving my kids to their different places. Halfway there, someone forgot their soccer cleats. We're going to be late. Like, I could just feel in myself the stress every time I was driving my kids to their different activities, or, trying to get breakfast ready on time, just the different things. I became very aware of the stress, the feeling in my chest. And once I started practicing in those moments where and the first time I tried it, after I had kind of found this mantra and thought, okay, I'm going to give that a try. I was driving and I was to a stoplight, and I had looked at the clock. It was at least 5 minutes away, but it was 2 minutes before we were supposed to be there. And I felt the stress rising, and I was like, okay, I'm going to try this mantra. And I took a deep breath in and I said, There is plenty of time for all that is needful. And I completely felt my body relax. And I use it daily with my breath, because as we've learned, deliberate breathing can change the state of our mind. So when I put something positive in there with my breath, it allows me to feel something different. I just put our quote that Kim shared last time that we probably could share every single class because it's such a good reminder that between stimulus and response, there is a space. Breath reminds us of that space. It helps us elongate that space so that we can remember our power to choose our response in that moment. And finally, the way I think it's been most beautiful and beneficial for me to use is in my connection with God. I don't think it's an accident that this quote came from a woman named Faith. Connection with God is vital to our sense of meaning in this life. The most direct way to connect with God is to converse with him through prayer. If we pray in faith and listen to the Spirit carry his answers to our hearts, we will find ourselves fully involved in a two-way conversation. That is how breath has taken my prayers to the next level. Instead of just rushing to my list of please help this, please help that, this was horrible today, I'm so sorry about that, I take a few minutes to breathe, to imagine my connection with heaven, to open my heart to what I need to hear or to what answers I'm seeking help for, can become a beautiful way to feel his love and to have that two-way conversation. I'm going to offer you as an additional homework, if you want, to read Ezekiel 37, 1 through 10. And just notice the place breath, the part breath plays in this story is really powerful. So this week, you'll see in your workbook an opportunity to spend some time thinking about and answering, what are some circumstances in my life where I could try and use breath as a tool? The examples I shared with my prayers, with my son, with my perception of time. Just explore for a minute, maybe one time, one circumstance that you could use or practice breath. Sometimes it's hard to remember in the moment. So something that I like to do is in my morning meditation, I will envision. I've had lots of opportunities with different children, with different things, with my work, with my husband, to practice breath. So I'll just envision, for example, my experience with Henry, I'll picture him in my mind as he's starting to melt down, as he says he has a stomach ache, which I believe is real, as he's feeling those nerves. I just picture that in my mind. And I practice my breaths in helping guide him, in slowing his breaths. And I just take a minute to practice that experience that I know will probably happen in my day. And when you practice it in the morning or before bed, it allows your brain to go there when you're in the moment. And it only takes a little bit of practice. I've been really surprised at how beautiful it is that even if my first response isn't that, it's not too long after that I remember, oh yeah, I'm going to practice my physiological sigh. All right, just calm myself for a minute. So go ahead and pick something that resonated with you, maybe one of those breathing practices that you could practice for these 2 weeks, a circumstance that you might be able to use it. Your challenge in the workbook is deciding what time of day you're going to practice intentional breathing. It will only help you to get specific. I'm going to do it first thing in the morning. I'm going to set an alarm on my watch, on my phone. Maybe I habit stack it next to something that I'm already really good at. Put it right after that. Maybe it's before bed. Whenever it is, reminders, sticky notes can be a huge benefit, because the more you practice it, obviously, the better you will get. And then do the meditation we have for this lesson. It's on breath, a beautiful meditation by Kim. I can't tell you how beneficial this is. And really, truly, only a little bit of practice will open this door. Open this door for you. Again, any questions as we come to the close of our class? Any comments?
Can I just add something? I want you to understand as well, each tool can be used separately, but they also build on each other. So last week we talked about awareness, and please feel free to share any experiences that you had with awareness, but breath is one of the beautiful tools to take our sympathetic nervous system when we're feeling that fight or flight. It's really hard for us to understand the emotions that are going on or to process them. So as breath can take us into the sympathetic nervous system to have that feeling of rest, of digest, not like digest our emotions, and to understand them. So understanding the tie between breath and awareness is also, it's a really beautiful thing that we can have and use to come into greater awareness as well.
Thank you, Kim. Yes, and again, a lot of information today, and our introductions took a lot of time at the beginning, so there wasn't maybe as much time for sharing, but hopefully some things to help you think about the gift and the importance of our breath. Sources here for you. The slides will be shared, but some things to get you started if you want to look into this more. I used several things from these gentlemen today, but excited for our next class that will be on self-compassion 2 weeks from now, that will be taught by Kim. Looking forward to that, but first, looking forward to these couple of weeks that you'll have of practicing breath. Sadly, our time has come to a close. If you're needing to go, feel free, but would love to open if anyone has any questions, comments. Yeah, Christy, please.
I'm just checking because I have down that it's the 12th, Wednesday the 12th, and it said the 11th.
Oh my goodness,
you're double check.
You're right, that's a typo.
Oh,
my apologies there. The 12th.
No
yes.
problem. I easily could have written it down wrong, so I just wanted to make sure.
Thank you. I'll fix that on the slide before they're copied and shared. Thank you. The 12th, okay. Yes. If not, then we will wish you a beautiful 2 weeks of awareness and breath. Reach out with any questions, please. Love the introductions, the intentions that you've shared on the app. If you haven't shared your intention yet and want to, please put it on there. I think it really benefits us all. Sending you all so much love and gratitude. Have a beautiful day.